This changes everything in the AL East, with substantial injuries taking place to both the New York Yankees as well as the Baltimore Orioles. The Boston Red Sox should by far and away be the odds-on favorites to win the AL East. I'm here to break down the injuries taking place with the Yankees as well as the Orioles and how the Red Sox are in the best position entering this 2025-2026 season in the AL East. We'll break down all of that on this episode of Red Sox Digest. But first, do please remember, if you are a part of the 86.5% currently watching this video, not currently subscribed to the channel, scroll down, click the subscribe button. We do appreciate the love and support, so thank you guys. But now let's get to it and break down how this not only changes everything, but how the Red Sox should be the favorites to win the AL East. Now, if on all the sports books, it seems like the odds are roughly the same as of about yesterday when these screenshots were taken. On Hard Rock Sportsbook down here in Florida, these are how the odds currently look. The Yankees currently sitting in first at plus 140, followed by the Orioles at plus 275, and then we find our Red Sox at plus 325 in third place, then followed by the Tampa Bay Rays at plus 800 and the Jays at plus 1200 in fifth. Now, we'll just, before we even get into our rant, I'll just continue to get to our BetMGM slips. And again, the odds are roughly the same. Again, a little bit more value on the Red Sox on BetMGM at plus 380, again, in the third place, if you will, third place position out of the AL East odds. And again, Yankees in first at plus 115, followed by the Orioles at plus 275. Again, the Red Sox at plus 380, plus 900 for the Rays, and again, the Blue Jays at plus 1400. So again, a little bit more value on BetMGM for really all the teams considered. But again, the idea is still the same. The Yankees and the Orioles are the outright leaders, if you will, in the AL East on who should and is supposed to win this up-and-coming season. But with brand new information surrounding Gerrit Cole, Giancarlo Stanton, as well as others on the New York Yankees, it seems like there's no way they should be the odds-on favorites. So we're going to start with this tweet from March 9th, which was 2 days ago. Jim Bowden tweeting, according to source, Gerrit Cole has been recommended to have Tommy John surgery, but they are now waiting for a second opinion to confirm the diagnosis. #Yankees. And this was not the end of it. We later got a very emotional Instagram post by Gerrit Cole saying this. And again, I can't read the entire thing, but I know what the middle paragraph says, and it does say that they went ahead, got a second diagnosis, and it would be recommended and in best interest to go out and have that Tommy John surgery, shutting him down for the entirety of the 2025-2026 MLB season. And again, it's something that Gerrit Cole goes on to say that he doesn't want to do, but again, it's very strongly recommended, and he kind of needs to, or he definitely needs to, I should say. And again, it's not something he wants to do, but again, it's required, and he can't wait to return and go through the rehab and battle his way back. Again, a very emotional post from Gerrit Cole. I would read it, but the font is so tiny on my screen, I would have to basically kiss my monitor to do so. But again, the idea is the same. Gerrit Cole is having Tommy John surgery. It is March 11th now, March 12th now. And again, the season, we are still in spring. The MLB season has not even officially started yet. And now Gerrit Cole is down with injury for the entirety of this MLB season. And the New York Yankees just lost their ace. Now that is huge news. And it's unfortunate to see someone like Gerrit Cole go down with injury, because I know he's on the rival team. He plays for the New York Yankees. I understand that. But you do not want to see these guys go down with substantial injuries. You want to be able to see them perform at their best. We want to be able to see them and everyone else compete at the highest level. And again, now the Yankees cannot do that without their workhorse of an ace in Gerrit Cole, who played last year, but again, before we got into the MLB season last year, what did we hear during spring? Roughly the same conversation. No, it wasn't Tommy John, but he had a nerve issue in his right elbow. Again, his throwing elbow. Nerve problems in his right elbow that were being discussed about. We heard the rumors and the conversations, and again, it never really resulted in a major surgery or a major setback, if you will. He did miss a little bit of time during the 162 games, as most players do, but again, he was able to play the majority of it. He got to the playoffs. He played in October, where he was pretty damn good. And again, Now we get to another spring, the second consecutive spring. We're hearing about possible injury to Garrett Cole, and down goes Frazier. And again, he will be out for the entirety of the season. It's unfortunate for Yankee fans and anyone who wants to see all-out competitiveness throughout the entirety of the league. But again, great for the Boston Red Sox, as again, now that is not the only player down for the Yankees to start the MLB season. Now, Giancarlo Stanton says he has, quote, severe, end of quote, injuries in his elbows, and surgery would end his 2025 season. So again, in the same exact boat that Garrett Cole was sitting in before the second diagnosis and recommendation to have the Tommy John. Seems like Stanton, again, dealing with substantial injuries in his elbow, and because of that, if the doctors recommend him to have surgery and not play through it, it seems like he also, for the New York Yankees, is going to miss the entirety of the 2025-2026 MLB season. Again, another substantial name going down with injury before the season even starts for the New York Yankees. This is substantial. Again, a massive right-handed bat who we've seen for years now hit for ridiculous power. Someone who, if is disciplined at the plate, is one of the scariest hitters in all of baseball. I will stand by that. It didn't matter what you threw him in this past October. He was de-stitching baseballs for the majority of it, and it just felt like every time anything hung over that batter's box, or excuse me, over the plate, that ball was gone. And again, Stanton, it was awesome to watch. It was awesome to watch back with the Marlins. It was awesome to watch with the Yankees. I know he's a Yankee, but again, the idea is the same. It is electric to watch someone annihilate baseballs, and that is what Stanton has done for a very long time. He's also built like a brick shithouse, so it's no surprise. But again, the idea is the same. Another key piece to the Yankees organization going into the MLB season, setting them back. In the third and final piece, and again, it doesn't even seem like this is possible, but again, the third and final piece we're going to discuss for the New York Yankees specifically, again, Aaron Boone says Luis Gil is expected to miss at least 3 months with a lat injury. Apparently, it was a right lat injury. Apparently it was labeled as not severe, but again, it was apparently going to leave him out for 3 months. I don't know how something cannot be considered severe and still take you out of the game for 3 total months going into the MLB season. But again, it seems like Luis Gil is going to start the MLB season on the IL. So again, this is better for the Yankees because they're not losing this young great pitcher for the entirety of the MLB season. But again, down for 3 months. Once he comes back, he's going to refine his footing, which again is going to take a little bit of time. And again, just finding that mojo is not going to come instantly, and that's unfortunate because again, 3 major pieces for the New York Yankees down with injury to start the MLB season. And again, this is a perfect example of why, and just highlighting there's no way they should be plus 140 to win the AL East. Now, I understand not having Cole for the entirety of the season. Stanton hasn't been announced to be having those surgeries, so apparently he is still playing, or allegedly he is still playing as of now. But again, let him come out there and start the MLB season and deal with those shoulder injuries, or excuse me, those elbow injuries, and have them be a significant factor. He's going to have that surgery where he will then depart for the rest of the season. And then obviously Luis Gil out for the first 3 months. I'm dumbfounded that these sports books are giving this type of lack of value, I should say, at plus 140 and plus 115 for the Yankees to outright win the AL East. And I understand it's a long season, but again, there's no, to go without Garrett Cole, they can't go out and get another ace. They can possibly trade for Sandy Alcantara, but again, would they really move the pieces to go out and do that? Now, again, to look at their starting rotation with what they currently have left, Carlos Rodon still there, Max Fried, the newest addition from this offseason, still there, Clark Schmidt, Marcus Stroman, and then obviously Luis Gil, Garrett Cole, both on the IL, Will Warren, Carlos Canseco, JT Brubaker are all considered on the injury list. Again, 3 major pieces in the starting rotation down with injury. And if you have seen Marcus Stroman through this point of spring, he has not looked like a starter. He has looked really, really bad, in my opinion. If you go out and watch his tape from the spring, he's been getting absolutely rocked. And again, Rodon, Fried, Schmidt, Stroman, that's a good starting 4. But again, Carlos Canseco, Will Warren, are those going to be your 5 and 6 guys in the starting rotation? It's just a bit interesting to me. I don't believe this starting pitching rotation is going to have the abilities to get the job done throughout the entirety of 162. And I know Gil's coming back after a 3-month stretch, but he still has to find his footing once returning. And again, I am putting my money on the Red Sox starting rotation over that of the New York Yankees rotation. But now we move on to the Baltimore Orioles, the team holding the second place spot in both sports books, and the 2 major sports books, I should say. And Matt Rich went on to tweet this, saying Orioles Grayson Allen and Andrew Kittredge are both going to begin the season on the IL. Brandon Hyde announced. Rodriguez is getting second opinions on his elbow/tricep soreness, and Kittredge is having orthoscopic knee surgery. So this is a massive tweet, as again, now another major piece for another rival team in the AL East in the Baltimore Orioles are losing 2 pitchers, one being a starter, one being a reliever. And it's going to be interesting because this is not the only guy on the IL for the Baltimore Orioles, as well as they did not go out and re-up this year. I don't know. A lot of other teams like the Mariners are getting blasted for not going out and getting a bat. Other teams are getting smashed for not going out and acquiring pieces. The Orioles should be the topic of conversation. If you look at their depth and their overall lineup, they have a great collection of talent. Young with a little bit of aged experience. Obviously, they lost Santander as well as others. But again, they're very, very, very well put together offensively. And then you look at the starting pitching, and there is major red flag after major red flag. Yes, there are a handful of young pieces that have a lot of potential and a lot of upside. Not going to argue that. Cade Povich, lot of upside. Grayson Rodriguez, who is now on the IL to start the year, who was supposed to be their ace to start this year, on the IL. But if we look at everyone else, Kramer, Charlie Morton, Zach Eflin, this is not going to get the job done. There's no chance. Pitching is going to win you championships, and there's no way these guys are going to be the guys who are going to make a dominant push. And besides that, you have Chase McDermott, as well as Trevor Rogers, as well as Kyle Bradish, all on the IL to start the MLB year, and now add Grayson Rodriguez to that list. I do not believe in the starting rotation. I believe in their offense, but I do not believe they have the pitching to get the job done through 162 and into October. And because of that, I'm reiterating the fact that there is no possible way that the Red Sox, with this current starting rotation and overall pitching ability, and this is not mentioning the bullpen or any of the offense, who ranked 9th last year and got better going into this year, should be undervalued these guys. There's no possible way. Crochet is an ace. Tanner Houck is going to be better than he even was last year, and he wasn't that damn bad last year. Brayan Bello, another legitimate piece, young guy, learning from Pedro Martinez as well as these other guys, and he's going to get better. And without a doubt, again, Walker Buehler, who has looked fantastic all of spring, is going to be an elite pitcher for these Red Sox this year. Would not even be surprised if he got to the number 2 guy or even the number 3 guy for this Red Sox rotation after Crochet. And then we have Lucas Giolito, who we have a video coming out. It's probably up by the time you're watching this video, on his hamstring tightness that he left during his last appearance in spring with. Then Cutter Crawford, another very young piece with a lot of upside that we saw great potential from last season. Richard Fitz, another young piece. Quinn Priester, another young piece who has looked better during spring. Cora was high on him in spring. He's shaky in spring, but there has been some positive sides to his performances. And then Cooper Criswell, as well as Patrick Sandoval, who is going to start the year on the IL, and we'll probably see him around the halfway point of this MLB season. Overall, team to team, starting rotation to starting rotation, I'm taking the Red Sox time and time again. And I'm not understanding how these odds are formatted the way they are. Again, let me know down below if you guys think there's I believe there's a lot of value on the Red Sox at plus 325 or plus 380, whichever number you end up taking on whatever sportsbook you end up using. But again, that's my claim for the Red Sox to be the odds-on favorites to win the AL East. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.